Hey, what's up, everybody? Come on in. This is.
Tosh TV.
Thank you for tuning in. Smart cities, 15-minute cities, freedom cities. What does it all mean? Well, I'll give you my opinion on this episode. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any time. What is a 15-minute city?
Before the recent lockdowns, there were not enough time to spend with our families and friends. Traffic polluted our air, and smog blanketed our skylines.
What if it could be different? What if we could create a new normal where we reclaim our time, our health and well-being, and our communities?
This is the idea behind the 15-minute city, a growing movement to make our lives in cities more convenient, less stressful, and more sustainable. A 15-minute city is one where everything we need is close to home, where communities are safe and inclusive, where the air is clean.
A 15-minute city is one where it's easy to get good services. Fresh groceries, healthcare, and other amenities are all just a short trip away. A 15-minute city where everyone has a place.
A 15-minute city has affordable, accessible, and adaptable housing for households of all sizes and ages.
A 15-minute city means that you can work close to home or work remotely.
And we all play a role.
What if we don't go back to life as it was? What if we already have the power to change how we live? Together, we can reimagine and create the future we want. One that is cleaner, safer, healthier, and more inclusive, and gives us back valuable time to enjoy the little things.
15-minute cities where things are closer to you, where they accommodate you. Now, when have they, meaning people who make rules, changes to society, the elites, the important ones, when have they really ever gave a fuck about you? But now they're building your cities. Now they're making everything accessible. They've already conditioned us to work from home from the C-19. They've already scared us to be scared of everything. But now they want you to trust them, that they have the best interest of you in mind. The rise of 15-minute cities. Take a little listen to this.
Talk to us about this concept of 15-minute city. What's involved in it, and could it really be transported to the United States?
Yes, it can definitely be transported. It's very popular already in the United States. I'll come back to that.
Yes, it's already in the United States. And I will show you later in this episode that it's here. And the elites run it.
First of all, what is it? The 15-minute city is it's really about more of their life, more local, and technology now allows that. And the true enemy for many is the daily grind of commuting, and that's what people are looking to avoid.
The true enemy is commuting. See, they want you to go to electric power, sustainable energy, ESGs, green agendas. No, all that is because that battery that's in that scooter that only lasts 20 minutes is all you're going to need. That 15-minute city, that smart city, will be your new prison. A nice, eco-friendly prison with a great view. You see, it's no longer put them behind bars. No. Let them contribute to these 15-minute cities. It's not all about paying taxes anymore. I've already given you the rundown with crypto and what that's going to do to taxes. This is why they want to get rid of the IRS. They're not going to need the IRS. Everything's going to be taken from you in micropayments. You'll get paid daily, hourly, by the second, if they really want you to, with these 15-minute smart cities. Yes, they have already begun. How many of you remember the famous rapper Akon's idea of a smart city? I think he called it a crypto city. Remember, I've told you a lot of this shit will be ran on the blockchain, transmitted on that blockchain via its cryptocurrency. Let's take a look back at Akon's little $6 billion project in which China helped fund in Senegal, Africa.
A little more than a shot from the mind of Stan Lee. But now, to one revolutionary rapper, Wakanda is being brought to life. With a $1 billion budget, new so-called Solar City drive the African economy. Maze Marvel tribute to Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman, all at once. Well, I'll be screaming, Wakanda forever! So, what would a real-life Wakanda actually look like? Allow us to take you on an imaginative journey through the glass-laden utopian megacity in the making.
Remember, this is all predictive programming through your entertainment. Wakanda! The hidden city being built by Akon. You see, this is nothing new. They've been drafting this technology for decades. They have been experimenting with blockchain for decades. This is why the money machine continues to print. They have to crash this old economy, this old world, to install the new one. And they need a lot of money for these different cities. No, I'm not lying. This is a thing. You got Africa, now you have Saudi Arabia.
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature. Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers. And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life.
You see that? Healthy, more sustainable quality of life. They are about to jam-pack 9 million people into this city. The line is what they call it. They're even going to give them a new nationality. I'm not making any of this up. I'm not an elite. I'm telling you what they're telling us. They just don't promote it to us. People who are not sheeple see it and understand it and get it, and they look for more, like myself. The sheeple think that this is just fantasy. We're well past fantasy. This is the new reality.
Line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the line's infrastructure makes it
Saudis aren't even giving their people 15 minutes. They're giving them 5-minute neighborhoods.
possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in zero carbon. Technology services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall, 200 meters wide.
Look at all that land that the elites will have to their own disposal. See, this is where society is going. The poor will get shoved into these smart cities, and the poor will get shoved into the metaverse inside these smart cities to keep this thing rolling. These smart cities will be run on the blockchain. No, not just a Bitcoin, not just XRP, not just. I'm not a maxi here. There's networks in place for this. 90% of cryptos will fail, and they know that. They tell us that. But they don't tell you the ones that will succeed. You have to go looking. You have to read. You have to be somewhat open-minded to this idea, in which not many people are. Many people are still stuck in the old way of things. Many people still want to keep America great, or take it back to being a great again. In order to be great again, you have to adapt. You see, two feathers of the same bird is America. The Republican, the Democrat. Make America great again and build back better. It's all the same agenda. I'm just for lower taxes on me. I just don't like paying taxes like that. So I tend to vote conservative. But it's all a plan from both sides, every angle. It's been a plan for decades. They are going to shove 9 million people in the line, as they call it in Saudi Arabia. It's not just the Saudis. Korea. Let's look and see what they have been up to.
From parking apps to improved bus routes, technology is helping many large cities become smart, more efficient. To make sure smaller cities don't get left behind, South Korea is investing in projects to turn these smaller places into smart cities. Han Seo has more.
South Korea will be investing 215 million US dollars.
And look at that date there, 2025. It's around the fucking corner. I've already shown you the video on the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab saying we need to speed up Agenda 2030. 2025 is the date. That's the target. And if they can do it sooner, implement this for the masses sooner, they will. I am myself, I'm on a day-to-day basis with this. I'm just waiting for the flick of the switch moment, as they say, for them just to be like, this is the new way of life. It's not just these fucking fugazi robots you see, these algorithms you see on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. No, this is a bigger way of life. The first Bush president, remember when he made that iconic speech? This won't be the rule of the jungle. This is something that's been happening for decades. And every American president, every world leader has been in tune with this. This is nothing new under the sun. Humans have tried to do this before. What is it, the Tower of Baal or Baal or whatever the fuck you call it, where they try to get to heaven? All people, all walks of life, spoke the same language, built a tower that reached heaven, and God shattered it, right? Nothing new is under the sun. That's South Korea. Let's look at another 15-minute smart city.
This is the first that you're hearing about a 15-minute community or a 15-minute city. Well, you're not alone. A lot of people don't know what it is, but you should be aware because it might be coming to your particular town or community. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada has a city plan identifying 15 different districts across Edmonton.
Look at those dates. Phase 1, Phase 2, 2021, 2022. Phase 3, June through October of 2022. Phase 4, November 2022 to April 2023. We are here, is what it says. Phase 5 May to August 2023. These dates are around the corner. Like I said, I live more on a day-by-day basis. I'm waiting on just the announcements. They have us so distracted with all kind of other shit. The real shit is them fundamentally changing the infrastructure of life as we know it. They have us so confused, especially with crypto, that we think it's just payments, cross-border payments, all the XRP maxis, all the Bitcoin maxis, cross-border payments. No, this is bigger than that, way bigger than that. I don't think people understand how big this transformation is. Huge. There will be new elites made from this. This is the golden opportunity. This is the ticket to financial freedom, to enjoy the fruits of the land, because they're about to close off 90% of the world's population to it. I want people to understand that. I've been trying to tell my family for years what is about to happen. And I know that amongst themselves, they say, this nigga is crazy. I already know it. I already know it.
That possibly might be implementing something like this. Is this something that you should be concerned about or not? I would like to hear your thoughts on this. So what is a 15-minute city? A 15-minute city is an urban planning concept.
We already seen what a 15-minute city is. Let's look at South Korea's 15-minute fucking city. Let's look at it so you can really understand. I know I showed you how much it was going to cost, but now let's look at the fucking city and what they think it's going to look like.
To becoming true. Faced with the right, South Korea is shunning the idea of seawalls or drainage systems and instead building a floating metropolis that could eventually house up to 100,000 people. With buildings and platforms tethered to the seabed, construction is about to start on the $200 million floating city that'll rise up and down with changing sea levels. But
floating cities that will house 100,000 per floating city. That will float with the sea level. It will rise with the sea level. Do you understand what they're doing? And it's nothing we can stop. It's too late. It's too late, world. It's way too late to be trying to stop it. Why not try to enrich yourself on this? Why won't you be crazy just for about a year? Step outside your comfortability. Jump into the mind of Taj TV. And many like me. Why won't you do it? This is why they can get away with it. This is why socially you'll be at the same level. Your family will remain at the same level for eternity. Until the fucking world stops spinning. This is creating a new social class. A social environment that you won't be able to shake. There will be no more American dream. There will be no more exiting the matrix. Either you're out or you're in. That's the way of the new world. Google. $14 billion city. Let's take a look.
The most controversial point of the plan was the idea that a Google sister company planned to harvest data in public space. Over time, Sidewalk Labs was criticized for not revealing how they would use the data and who would control it. And for a while,
data, networks, networks, data, protocols, chains, side chains. This is the blockchain. All blockchain is a mathematical data. That's all it is. Mathematical data. Fuck it. Mathematical formulation that holds data. That's all it is. And the currency that makes it valuable is the transmission of that data, the cross-border of that data from you to me. It could be anything. Having a smartwatch conveying from that your phone or from your watch or from your phone to your watch on how long you've walked, how many calories you've burned. That's all worth something. Everything is worth something.
While there, the Canadian Civil Liberties Association sued the government to stop the project. So sure, Sidewalk Labs dreamt of making a section of Toronto a futuristic city, the likes of which we've only ever since skeptics saw thousands of cameras monitoring streets and data from every house taken and used. Among many things, their CEO, Sundar Pichai, had to testify to Congress and pretty much grilled for 3.5 hours. For those reasons, and perhaps others, the Sidewalk Toronto project was abandoned in May of 2020 to give way for a new kind of city. As exciting as the new city would have been, we still lost the chance to have an internet-first community, which promised affordable internet.
You didn't lose a chance. Do not allow these puppets to tell you this. This is the fucking plan. They didn't. You think Google just wasted $14 billion? You're out of your fucking mind. Black America, do you see it? We've been the most poverty-ridden class of people in America ever. We were once the largest minority of America, and it gave us a little bit of a voice. Not much of a voice, but a little bit of a voice. We just lost that to the Mexican population. Black America, do you smell the coffee? They talk about equity, equality. Are you going to get you some? This is Kanye. The real reason Kanye is being fucking drugged and being washed out the media is because he was giving black Americans too much fucking facts. It wasn't about the Jews. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They don't give a fuck about that. They give a fuck about enriching poor people. And Kanye was laying jewels down for black Americans with this new way of life. Listen to what Kanye says.
What do you say to people that say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly
black
100%? I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We are locked up. We went from 1 and 4. We went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3. But we always pointing at the white people, but yet we want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury.
He's about to educate you. Listen.
As opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale. And there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida. But the culture, as you focus so much on fucking somebody in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying,
isn't that crazy? Kind of makes you think about Young Thug's court case a little differently, huh? Not that it's to get you to look over here when it is, but there's another objective there. Young Thug was buying up a ton of goddamn land in Atlanta. Maybe he thought, Young Thug, he was bigger than the program. Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Gucci Man. A lot of these black rich people, they tell you to go out there and shoot your own, go sell drugs to your own, but they won't tell you what it really is. They're buying up land and getting ready because they're going to turn a profit. They're going to create generational wealth to the point of where their offspring will never be poor because the social climate, economic climate that we'll be entering. Kanye just laid you jewels. Go buy you some land. Why do you think Kanye said that? Maybe it's because of this. Maybe this is why Kanye said that.
Magazine. It says that Kanye West has plans to open for his own small universe that has been in the works for years. Two Yeezy sources confirmed the role.
It's not his own universe. It's his own smart city. You see, the metaverse, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they're the ecosystems of those platforms are amazing, but they're not the only one. They're not the only ones. Everything will be one very soon. Every fucking network will be one singular network. It's going to get bananas. It's going to get crazy. But these people understand. Maybe they have a heads up. I don't know. I don't know if they're insider trading. I don't know. But Kanye just told you what it was. Go buy you some land. Integrate your own ecosystem within your community. So the Ye ecosystem that he's trying to create makes me think, is that what he's doing now? And you see how Boyce Watkins, shout out to you, Boyce, but did you see how Boyce Watkins said Kanye said he's been doing this for a couple years, creating this? Maybe that's why he had to get out of all those contracts. Maybe a lot of those contracts were 360 contracts where certain, people ate off of you even when you wasn't directly selling their goods. Makes you think. But when Kanye said land is for sale in America, you should listen to him. Because this was 5 years ago. This is right outside where I live in Arizona. This is literally like 10 minutes away from where I live. Check this out.
Well, he is one of the richest in the world, and he just bought a big piece of land right here in Arizona. But what will billionaire Bill Gates do with 25,000 acres in Tonopah? Why not build the country's first smart city? Jason Berry has more.
It's pretty much the middle of nowhere. Open desert off Interstate 10 in Tonopah, 50 miles west of Phoenix. But it may not be empty space much longer. This undeveloped land be transformed into a sprawling smart city with all the high-tech, cutting-edge gadgets you could ask for.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a good change for us all.
I don't know if I would want technology to take too much control and take away from the human aspect of life.
A real estate investment firm owned by billionaire Bill Gates just bought the giant plot of land for $80 million with the hope of building a forward-thinking community called Belmont, full of new technologies and high-speed data networks.
Did you catch it again? High-speed data networks. I know. I know this isn't my field, but I read. I study. I watch behaviors of people. Shit, I'm trained to watch people's behaviors for my job, my actual job. And I'm telling you, this has been worked on for decades. This is why the United States SEC, the United States House, Congress, the United States Senate, the President of the United States, this is why they're going to ban crypto. This is why certain cryptos have caps. Once those caps are there, you're not getting in. You're not getting in a piece of this. There's no more coins, tokens, whatever you call them. This is why, rest in peace to that McAfee guy. But this is why he exploded on that podcast when he says, you're over here trading your crypto when your crypto is going to give you the financial freedom that you've always wanted. This shit is real, and there will not be there will be no coming back from it. None.
The smart city would have the room for 80,000 homes, 100 acres of office and retail space, and 470 acres for public schools. The streets would be filled with self-driving cars.
Automation.
And every home equipped with features you control with your smartphone or iPad. Lights, thermostat, locking the front door.
We would be one of the first.
Ron.
No, this isn't a fucking conspiracy. But that's not the only thing happening in the desert of America. Remember, Kanye said America is for sale. This is why China owning a piece of America is a fucking problem. But did you know that the U.S. government owns about a third of American land? Did you know that? Let's listen to this billionaire building a $400 billion city in the United States desert. California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah. Let's take a look.
Sponsor today's video loss and lead that exceeds the levels recommended by the EPA to aging water infrastructure. We've talked a lot about American heavy metals, while the UVC light purification technology eliminates biocontaminants such as bacteria. You can order the Lark Picture Pure VIP tiles and aeroponic farms. The panels will be a source of renewable energy, and this type of farming will cultivate a higher yield of crops using less water. Then there's the design of the city itself. At the centre stands Equitism Tower. Called the Beacon of the City, Equitism Tower is a skyscraper with lookout areas where residents can gather. Surrounding the tower are 36 districts arranged as 15-minute cities where everything residents need.
36 districts, meaning 36 different smart 15-minute cities. Now, this isn't just a conspiracy. This isn't just a big idea, as President Bush once said. No, this is a big reality. That's around here in the western part, in the desert of America. Now, this is more on the urban side of things. This is more on the urban side of things. Clearly, have a chemical spill in Ohio. Maybe it's because they want all those Ohioans to look at the chemical spill and not the fucking smart city that they're building in Cleveland, Ohio.
City.
Well, Jay, Cleveland says it hopes to be the first city in the U.S. to implement this model. Everything you need is within 15 minutes of where you live on foot, bike, or transit. Instead of centralized down where you live, why shouldn't everything be closer? Well, that reduced proximity is greener, it's more sustainable, and it creates more solidarity between neighbors. But you can't start from scratch, obviously, so it's about repurposing existing spaces. Mayor Bibb said last night it'll be about people first, not developers. Well, city planners today told me they will aim to find out how residents might want to see their community change and make sure that the city's zoning restriction policies and their policies around.
They're in a predominantly black city, Cleveland. I wonder how many of those blacks have invested in this new technology, this new way of life. I'm sure it's less than 1%. I'm sure it's about 0.0000001%. to show you that this is real in America. This is our current president, and then I'll show you our former president, Trump, and what he had to say just recently. This isn't just a big idea anymore. This is a reality. Do you remember President Biden's infrastructure bill? Let's take a look at what was in that bill.
Hi, Shep. Good evening. About half of the $1.2 trillion package is new federal spending beyond what's authorized each year to pay for normal maintenance of highways and waterways. That includes $284 billion for roads, bridges, freight and passenger rail and public transit, and $260.
Did you get it? Public transit, roads, rails. They're changing the infrastructure. There will be railways within a lot of these smart cities. The roads will be rebuilt, repurposed, depending on what kind of vehicles will be within these smart cities. This shit is real. Let's listen some more. Let's listen some more.
$66 billion for what's called and new broadband across the country.
Power, water, and new broadband across the United States. This isn't just a big idea. This is a reality.
Leftover COVID relief money and tax enforcement on crypto gains are offsetting the cost. But the nonpartisan congressional budget.
Did you catch that? Did you catch what she said? COVID money that was left over and cryptocurrency capital gains money will pay for it. Now, how much crypto gains are you thinking that they're anticipating here? It's going to be trillions of fucking dollars. Trillions. They know what's about to happen.
Budget office says it will add $256 billion to the federal deficit over 10 years to steer that money through the agencies to the right projects at the.
So that's to show you where the money went for the infrastructure bill. This is why we continuously pump money to Ukraine, because we have us looking about the finances of America in Ukraine, not in America, not what they're doing. They just did military exercises over the summer. I'm sure that was for a reason. The change is coming. I think there's going to be a cyber attack on America, and that's what's going to push us there, to these smart cities, to the technology at least, before a lot of these buildings are built. Let's listen to former President Donald Trump. He doesn't call them 15-minute cities. He doesn't call them smart cities. He calls them freedom cities. Do you know why he calls them freedom cities? Because his base believes in freedom, the freedom that America hasn't had for the last 50 years. But let's listen to our former president lead his sheeple to the new world.
Generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring projects totally impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier. They transformed American life with the internet magnet was, and they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit all around the earth. But today, our country has lost its boldness. Under my leadership, we will get it back.
His leadership will be returning. A lot of this, a lot of these military exercises and this promise of a cyber attack via the World Economic Forum, it will be because of a reason, and I think he will be a part of that reason. So he will be back, and he will be the one that pushes us there. But let's continue.
If you look at just 3 years ago, what we were doing was unthinkable. How good it was, how great it was for our country. Our objective will be a quantum leap in the American.
Quantum power is a thing. That was no mix-up. Trump does not write his speeches. He has speech writers that work for the agenda. Quantum computing will be the computing, the singular computing brain of the world. Not just America, but of the world. There will be different networks of certain cities, certain countries, certain pieces and parts of the world, but they will all unite to be singular.
American standard of living. That's what will happen. Here are just a few of the ways we can do it. Almost 1/3 of the landmass of the United States is owned by the federal government, with
Didn't I say that earlier?
just a very, very small portion of that land, just a fraction, 1/2 of 1%. Would you believe that? We should hold a contest to charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development. In other words, we'll actually build new cities in our country again.
That's already happening, Donald. See, this is why you have Tosh TV. I let you know the fact from the fiction. No, Donald thinks a lot of you are stupid as well. He's no different. Donald Trump has never been middle class. He's never been poor. He's no different than your elites that are running the show now. Reason why I liked him, again, is because his tax plan was way better. Don't fucking tax me. I'm a capitalist. I'm greedy. Smart cities are being built. The soon-to-be president of the United States is telling his people, his followers, to follow me into this new world. What other proof do you need? And with that being said, I thank you for joining Taj TV. I hope you have been educated today. And I'll see you when I see you. I appreciate you all. Subscribe, share, comment, do all that fly shit. And I'll catch you later. Goodbye.